Welcome to On the Origin of Legendary Species, a series dedicated to the study of creatures born from myth, folklore, fantasy, and imagination. Each episode, we examine a single legendary being, its origins, its traits, its enemies, and the cultural forces that shaped its legend. From ancient gods and dragons to cryptids, monsters, and icons of modern fiction, this is a natural history of the unreal in the wetlands of Louisiana, where Spanish moss drapes like funeral veils and the air hangs thick with heat. There are stories told in whispers, stories of something that moves between the cypress trees, something that walks upright, but hunts like a beast. They call it the Rougarou, and unlike the monsters of cinema, this one was never meant for spectacle. It was meant as a warning. The Rougarou, sometimes spelled Loup-garou, traces its roots to French folklore. The name itself comes from the French words loup, meaning wolf, and grou, meaning werewolf. When French settlers arrived in Louisiana in the 18th century, they brought their stories with them. But in the swamps of the American South, the legend changed. It adapted, blended with Catholic superstition, Creole storytelling, Cajun culture, and the isolation of the bayou. What emerged was not simply a European werewolf transplanted across the Atlantic. It was something uniquely Southern. In traditional Louisiana lore, the Rougarou is a humanoid creature with the body of a man and the head of a wolf or dog. It stands upright. It prowls levees and marshes. Its eyes gleam in lantern light. But the defining feature of the Rougarou is not its appearance. It is the curse. In many Cajun tellings, the curse falls upon those who break Lent for 7 consecutive years, Catholics who fail to follow religious obligations, or those who commit serious moral transgressions. And like the skinwalker, who chooses corruption, the Rougarou is punished with it. The transformation is often involuntary, a spiritual consequence. Made flesh, the curse traditionally lasts 101 days. During that time, the afflicted becomes the Rougarou by night, hunting livestock, terrorizing isolated homes, stalking the edges of communities. But there is a cruel twist. In some versions of the legend, the curse can be passed on if the Rougarou draws blood from another person and does not kill them. The victim inherits the curse, while the original Rougarou is freed. This creates a chain of suffering, a moral contagion, and like European werewolves tied strictly to the full moon, the Rougarou's transformation varies by story. Sometimes it is lunar, sometimes nightly, sometimes seasonal. The ambiguity enhances the fear. You cannot predict when it will come, only that it might. The Rougarou also functions as social control. In isolated Cajun communities, stories of the creature were told to children to keep them from wandering too far into the swamps at night. Stay close to home. Follow your faith. Do not break sacred promises, or the Rougarou will find you. In this way, the monster becomes both predator and preacher. When we compare the Rougarou to other shape-shifting archetypes, its uniqueness becomes clear. The European werewolf is often tied to pagan superstition or uncontrollable rage. The Rougarou is deeply intertwined with Catholic morality. The skinwalker represents chosen spiritual corruption. The Rougarou represents punishment. The cinematic Hollywood werewolf emphasizes body horror, bone snapping, flesh stretching. The Rougarou is quieter, more folkloric, more cautionary. It does not symbolize primal instinct alone. It symbolizes consequence, a mythic taxonomy. The Rougarou may be classified as cursed therianthrope. Its threat is not cosmic, not apocalyptic. It is intimate, rural, personal. A shadow between trees, a growl behind your home, a reminder that your choices have weight. Why does the Rougarou endure? Because in communities shaped by faith and isolation, fear is not abstract. It is close. The swamps are vast. The nights are long. And something large can move silently through shallow water. More importantly, the Rougarou affects a universal anxiety that we might become something monstrous through our own failures. That the beast is not just inside us metaphorically, but waiting for a reason to surface. If you walk the levees at night, if you hear something pacing you just beyond the reeds, do not assume it is only an animal. And if you have broken a sacred promise, you may not be the one being hunted. You've been listening to On the Origin of Legendary Species. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing and exploring our collections, from dragons and cryptids to gods, demons, and creatures of science fiction. New episodes are released weekly, each examining a single legendary species in depth. Until next time, remember, legends do not disappear, they evolve.